So I'm sitting here with Deborah Harcourt. Deborah, would you like to just start this off by telling us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what your qualifications are, and yeah, we'll just take it from there.
Okay, thanks Hunter for the opportunity to work with you today. I am a Professor of Early Childhood at the Australian Catholic University and I hold a PhD in Early Childhood Education.
Yep.
I currently work, as I said, as a professor, but I also work as an executive consultant. So I travel around Australia working with early childhood educators and primary educators and help them to understand their practice a bit better.
Okay. I understand that you do also do work overseas as well.
Yes, I've just been to Thailand to work with a group of architects in building. So I also work with people who are interested in building innovative places for children to go to school.
And you were featured in the was it the 2013 book of World's Most Influential People?
Yes, I was, Hunter. Thank you for thank you for bringing that up. I'm probably best known internationally for as a children's rights activist. I am one of only two Australians who's undertaken a course with the UN in children's rights, which I did in 2013 with my colleague Jonathan Sargent.
Oh, that's a very impressive achievement. Now, being in that role of a rights advocate and as probably the world's leading expert in child education and children's rights, how would communication be used in your role as a professional?
Okay, so I guess with communication, I need to understand where people are coming from in their understanding of early childhood. So I work with people who might have, say, a Certificate 3 in early childhood, and I also supervise PhD students. So I have to change my way of communicating depending on who I'm working with.
So, like the language that you would use more of a like professional, more use professional language for your PhD students and your colleagues who are more qualified than those with just a Certificate 3.
Yeah, that's correct, Hunter. So I would, for example, I might use the word pedagogy when I'm working with degree and master's degree trained people, but people with a Certificate 3 may just understand teaching practice as a more appropriate term.
Yeah. And do you help develop those people from Certificate 3s, just like help them guide them on their journey, maybe if they want to go in the same direction as you? Or...
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, I have a PhD student at the moment, and she's close to submitting her thesis after 6 years of doing a PhD. And she started at Certificate 3 level and then went through to diploma, then did her degree, then her master's degree, and now she's almost finished her PhD.
Great. And just on what are there any other communication tools that you use with either your clients that you consult?
Well, when I'm doing consultancy work, Hunter, it's quite different to working in the university and teaching.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to explain myself very clearly in terms of what I can do to help people. And I have to be able to articulate what it is I think that they need, so provide them with recommendations. So that's very different to working in the university sector. And then, as you might know, I was seconded from the university for 3 years to work with an organisation called Good Start. So they are the biggest early childhood organisation in the country with 643 early childhood centres. So with a team of 88, I was guiding senior members of staff, but also right through to junior members of staff. Okay. So, that also takes, when you've got 88 people on your team, you have to build rapport with them, but also there's times when you have to be very directive and authoritarian with them, but also know that they've got someone who will listen to them.
Okay, and just like being the leading expert, who do you get your information from? Do you consult with colleagues, or do you go out and like research it yourself from like at a childcare centre?
Okay. Well, I do several things. I do a lot of research, but I actually research with children. So 3, 4 and 5-year-old children, I undertake research with them to see what they think about important things. But also I've considered over my time to have 2 really important mentors. And I think anybody who is interested deeply in their field, they need a mentor. So my first mentor was a lecturer I had at the University of South Australia who moved here to Queensland, and she guided me very much through my early career. And then I now have a mentor who is Professor Carla Rinaldi from Italy, and she is one of the leading thinkers in early childhood education. I consider her to be my mentor now.
Okay, and so would they guide you on your way, give you, direct you in what they believe is the correct route to teach, or?
No, not necessarily, Hunter. They're people to bounce ideas off of. So
Okay.
they're kind of to test your theories, to test your thinking, to see if you're going in the right direction.
Okay, so there's no, they don't give you any criticisms of your...
Oh, they would certainly give me constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they might critique my work. So I write a lot, so I'm very well published. And obviously that goes to peer review. And I often send my work to others, such as Carla, for her first sort of view of it. And then I'm happy to send it into a journal.
Okay, is it like more in your work, is it more like feeling based or more objective and evidence based?
It has to be objective and evidence based.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But when you're dealing with like young children, they don't really operate on evidence based. They're more on feelings and instincts.
But Hunter, I don't work directly with young children.
Oh, okay.
I'm working with their teachers.
Right. Yeah.
So when I'm talking with them about what might work best, I'm drawing from my own practice, because I was a preschool teacher once.
Okay.
I'm drawing from my own practice, my academic knowledge of young children, but also my academic and practice-based knowledge of early childhood education as being an educator.
All right.
So the work that I do with young children now is generating evidence for research.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that just about does it for us here today, Mum. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me.
Oh, you're welcome, Hunter. I hope it all goes well for you.
I hope so too.